Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 3X Value Growth Podcast. My name is Carrie Sauls, Value Growth Advisor to the Middle Market and author of the bestseller, Multiply Your Business Value in 3 Steps. The 3X Value Growth Podcast is a forum to hear from advisors with the expertise and resources that you need now to ensure that lower middle market companies can reach their full potential. Tune in to hear from experts who generously share their expertise to help owner-led companies crack the code on multiplying the value of their businesses. So welcome again to the 3X Value Growth Podcast. I'm coming to you as always from New Hampshire, and I start each show with a piece of trivia about the state of New Hampshire. Today I want to talk about maple syrup. Did you know that it takes approximately 40 gallons of maple sap to make approximately just 1 gallon of maple syrup? So appreciate every drop of that maple syrup and don't leave a drop on your plate when you're done with it. I'm joined today by Tommy Breedlove. Thank you very much for joining me here today. Welcome, Tommy.
Carrie, I am excited to be here, and I will enjoy every drop of maple syrup I have from here on out.
Do your due diligence, absolutely.
Indeed.
Tommy, where are you calling in from? I know I'm in New Hampshire. Where are you?
Today, I am in Atlanta, Georgia, outside suburb called Roswell, and this is where I call home, and it's my office, but I spend a lot of time all over the country and planet. Very fortunate to do that.
I guess so. Well, thank you again, Tommy, for joining me here for the podcast. For those who don't know Tommy, let me give you just a little bit of an introduction. Tommy Breedlove is a Wall Street Journal and USA Today best-selling author. He's Atlanta-based, as he said, but he focuses on business, relationship, and mindset coaching. He's regularly featured as a keynote speaker at global events. After 20 years of a corporate career, Tommy now guides people to discover a life of significance while building a lasting legacy. Welcome again, Tommy.
I'm so thankful to be here, Carrie.
When I'm talking about 7 questions in 7 minutes, the topic you gave me was to become legendary by participating in your own rescue. Are you ready to do that in 7 minutes?
Let's crank it out. I got it.
So Tommy, number 1, who's your ideal client?
My ideal client is business owners, entrepreneurs, and corporate executives who struggle, who don't have anyone to lean on and lean into, who are struggling with time management, struggling between the balance between life and wanting to run a successful company, and all of the things that come with ambition, where we carry the success and burdens of our life because we're constantly driven to do more. And as am I, and as I have been my whole life. And so I help people lead a life of significance with time management, with balance, with a sense of fulfillment, but without compromising their financial success or their ambition.
That was so detailed. I love it. So number 2, what problem are you solving for them when it comes to business owners?
I think the biggest problem we solve is a feeling that I'm alone, that I have to make all these decisions and I have these pressures on me, from employment to profitability to scale to vendor management. And how do I do this? And how do I lead and how do I control my company? But I don't have anyone to lean on and lean into. And so I serve as a outsourced board of director for them to help them with all things profitability, time management, but also doing that without compromising their relationships at home and the human they were born to be. So I'm one of those people that do believe you can have it all in life without compromising.
I love it. So building on that, my 3rd question is, what are the typical symptoms that you see owners experiencing or that they're talking about that you hear them talking about?
High level amounts of stress, the balance again between time at home, and when we're at home, we're thinking about our companies, and we're at our companies, we're thinking about home. But also all of the things that come within the business itself is, managing debt, managing profitabilities. Is our systems efficient enough? Competition. And a lot of the times we feel like when we're a corporate executive in our businesses is that we're alone and we don't really have anyone to help us through the big times and the big topics. And so it's a lot to carry as ambitious, driven executives and managers and owners of these companies. And so we need to know that we're not alone, and all great leaders have leaders in their life. All great coaches have coaches, and that we need people to help us step in and step up and be the best entrepreneur and person that we could possibly be.
Absolutely. We can't be the best at everything that our business requires. We need to surround ourselves with those experts. And as soon as people start realizing that their whole business and their life excels and flourishes stronger and farther faster. It's true across the board. Regardless of the size of your business, it really does. It's proven true. So the fourth question I have that you must see a lot, what are the most common mistakes of owners who are trying to not look outside for help and trying to do it all internal and keep it to themselves?
You answered the question for me. It's control issues. It's control and perfectionism, and think you have to carry the burden of leadership, finance, operations, administration, customers, sales, and everything in between. And so one of the biggest things that I preach to corporate executives, entrepreneurs, and leaders of these organizations is you need to stay in your zone of brilliance. And that's why you got in the business to start with. So you stay in your zone of brilliance. And if you just do that zone of brilliance, your God-given talents for at least 3 to 4 hours a day, and outsource the rest to your great team who has the same mission and passion that you do, you will ultimately be 100x more successful in the long run. But the biggest issue is control and perfectionism, and also trying to do it all ourselves, because at the end of the day, our businesses are our babies, and not everybody has the same love for our businesses as we do. And so we try to do it all ourselves, and that ends to burnout disasters on multiple fronts.
Absolutely. I am going to take from you, giving you credit, the phrase, your zone of brilliance, because that's exactly it. They need to focus on that. Do what you do best. Delegate the rest. Absolutely.
Indeed. It's changed my life.
Exactly. Then, well, therefore, you are a testament to what you're trying to share with others, that it's not just a theory, it's something you've lived and you've seen and benefit from the results.
Absolutely.
The fifth question then is, with that as a foundation of what you're recommending, what's a valuable free action that you suggest to our audience that they can implement right now that indeed is going to help them increase the whole value of their business?
I would say you have to participate in your own rescue. So many of us put ourselves last. I see so many of us ambitious types doubling down, investing in the stock market. We'll invest in our businesses, we'll invest in our networks, but we won't invest in ourselves. And in order for us to be the best leaders and people that we can possibly be, is we have to invest in ourselves first. I'm talking about your professional education, your mental education, your emotional education, and your relationship education. Because once you become the best person and leader you can possibly be, then from your success to your network to your money, but also to your happiness and fulfillment. So in order to do that, there's a million ways to participate in your own rescue, but you have to double down and do the mental work, the physical work, the emotional work, and the business work. You have to build those muscles each and every day of your life. So spend at least an hour a day on some type of emotional, mental, professional, and physical self-development, because you're no good to anyone burned out, stressed, and even worse, not here. Well,
that's just it. Exactly. That's the bottom line. Definitely. Because that's where you end up, even if it's not your plan.
Indeed. It's going to happen to us, hopefully later than sooner.
if we take care of all these areas, exactly. And you can't ignore any of them. You need to address all of them in their own balanced way. So totally. Building on that, from you, what's one valuable free resource, Tommy, that you can direct people to that's actually going to help them further solve this?
Yeah, so I have a one-page how building and living a legendary life. It's everything from time management to all of the things we talked about. How do we regain our power? How do we become more mental, the master of our mindset? Because we all have that self-critic. And so this is how I live my life every single day. And it's a one-page document. And I'll also offer a blank one so that you can fill it out and create one of your own, so that you can truly build and live that legendary life. And also as a free resource, related to that, there's a one-page purpose exercise and a one-page core value where you build your own personal mission statement, not your corporate mission statement. And that's all things that help us hold ourselves accountable, help us find more fulfillment in life, and ultimately more happiness and success. And so it's 3 very simple one-page documents that you can take and fill out on your own, one or all of them. And so that's what I would love to give away to your audience.
And what's the web address for them to find those?
You can go to TommyBreedlove.com and just sign up, and we'll send you all 3 of them. It's really powerful. It's really cool. I was at an advertising firm recently, and I saw my legendary life plan hanging up on all their cubicles. I thought that was really humbling and cool to see that.
Very cool. Very cool. For all those people, definitely what a benefit.
Yeah.
So after all the questions I've been asking you, my last question is, what's a question I should have asked and didn't? And then what would your answer be, please?
So what question that you didn't ask is what's been the single most beneficial thing that I've inputted into my life? And I would say my answer would have been a formal and informal gratitude practice, where it gets me in the present moment and it gets me thankful for all of the things I do have. And I'm not constantly planning for the future or thinking about what I could have done better in the past. And so I think all of us need a little more gratitude and presence in our lives. And the easy way to do that is to input some sort of formal, easy gratitude practice in your life, but also an informal gratitude practice.
Wonderful. This has just been so much fun. Thank you so much, Tommy Breedlove, for this interview for the 3X Value Growth Podcast. Really, this is fun. Thank you again for your time.
You're amazing. Thank you.
The mission we set for the 3X Value Growth Podcast is to make critical information available to owners of private businesses that will help them easily multiply the value of their business. The 3X Value Growth system we offer leverages our proprietary analytics, platform, and client portal to address quantitative, performance excellence, and risk factors to increase EBITDA. To learn how you can multiply the value of your business threefold in just 3 years, check out 3xvaluegrowth.com/model for a free PDF. You'll be invited to attend our next demo of the 3X Value Growth Program on a free monthly webinar of what works in the lower middle market. Thanks for checking out our 3X Value Growth Podcast. If you like what we're doing here, head on over to Apple Podcasts and subscribe. Leave us a review or rate us. It's very much appreciated.